Hey guys, it's Megan and it's FanGirl Wednesday. Well, technically today is Thursday. I did film on Wednesday though, had some issues, wound up filming really late, so I figured instead of uploading in the middle of the night, I'd upload first thing Thursday morning. Seemed like it made sense to me. But either way, if it's Thursday or Wednesday or whatever day it is that you're watching this on, I hope you have your tea. I have mine. Let's take a sip. Oh. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, I hope you've got a big glass of something to drink because we have a lot to talk about. Now, this was originally going to be a Valentine's Day themed episode, but as some of you may know, as Amanda said in a previous video, my grandfather passed away. So I need some time off, and this video got pushed and didn't get done before that happened. So instead of it being a Valentine's Day themed episode, I figured rather than wait a whole year to talk about this stuff again, because that would be silly, I would just make it a love themed episode and cut the Valentine's Day stuff out. I was gonna do a little history of Valentine's Day, but it's not Valentine's Day, so I'm not going to do that now. And quite frankly, I'm not a big fan of Valentine's Day anyway. Obligatory romance is not romantic. If you feel like you have to do it, it's not romance. It's obligation, and that's not sexy or loving at all. I don't like Valentine's Day. Whether I'm single or in a relationship, I don't like it, I don't celebrate it. Anyway, so I made a list of things, mostly romance themed, but not all romance themed, that I'd like to go through my favorites and not so much favorites with you. So let's hop right into it. And I've been doing this a lot, so ignore that if I wind up doing it a lot. I apologize if it bothers you. Anyway, first thing I want to talk about is in terms of classical literature. My favorite stuff and my not so favorite stuff, romance-wise. Now, my favorite is, and this is not going to be a surprise to anyone who knows me, it's a Jane Austen book, of course, and it's Sense and Sensibility. Now, I know the obvious choice would probably be Pride and Prejudice, and I do love Pride and Prejudice. It's a fantastic story. But I love Sense and Sensibility more, and I think the reason is because there are so many different examples of love in that book. There's, yes, romantic love, and there's a couple different kinds of romantic love. There's unrequited love, and blind love, and real love, and deep, and abiding, and all different kinds of romantic love in that book. But there's also different kinds of familial love. Sister to sister, mother to daughter, mother to father, mother to father, daughter to father. It's a really good book. I'm not going to go into the details of the story because it would take forever. But it's a really good book, which I highly suggest if you like classical literature. My least favorite, I actually have two, and I'm probably going to catch a lot of flack for the second one, but oh well. The first one is Wuthering Heights. I don't like Wuthering Heights. I don't find it romantic at all. He is a evil, sadistic, bitter man, and she is a spoiled brat, and they got what they deserved. I find nothing romantic about that story. I don't feel bad for either one of them. You made your choice, and now you have to deal with it, and I don't feel bad for you. Hate Wuthering Heights. I'm not saying it's not well written or it's not well done. I'm just saying the story, I don't like the story. I don't find it romantic. My second one, which I'm probably going to get a lot of crap for this, but oh well, is Romeo and Juliet. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not a good story. It is a good story. It's Shakespeare. Hello. And it's beautifully written, and it's terribly tragic and sad, but I don't find it all that romantic. It's like this great love story, and I'm like, no, it's this great dual suicide. Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem romantic to me. First of all, you're 13, and you fell in love in, 5 minutes? That's not realistic. And I'm not saying you can't be in love at the age of 13, but you can't be in love in 5 minutes at the age of 13. It's cute. Anyway, I'm not a big fan I'm sorry if it's like I'm sorry if Romeo and Juliet are your OTP. I apologize. I just don't like it. In terms of modern day romance, now you may remember that I've said before that I'm not a big romance reader, really. So the only thing I could come up with was Sookie and Eric from the Sookie Stackhouse series. And I'm looking over here because my list is over here. Anyway, it's Sookie and Eric from the Sookie Stackhouse series. And even that's not really a romance. It's more of like a paranormal series. Because she can read minds, and there's vampires, and there's shapeshifters, and there's all kinds of crap. But it's a romance, too. And their relationship is also kind of screwed up and flawed. So it's not a very good example, but it's the only thing I could think of. In terms of modern day romance that I don't like, Twilight. Do I even have to explain why? I don't think I do. It's terrible. Their love story is so messed up that this is going to be a really long video if I go into all the reasons why I hate Twilight, but regardless. All right. Now, for non-romance literature, or books, or whatever, where romance is not the main focus of the story, Harry and Ginny from the Harry Potter series, I love it. They just fit so well together. They just seem like a couple that really is meant for each other. They work together. It works. It makes sense. It's good. Another is Percy and Annabeth from the Percy Jackson series. They have this enduring relationship, that friendship to love thing. They grew up with each other, kind of. They've been through all this turmoil and craziness, and they fought a war together, and it's just, I just love them together. Harry and Ginny and Percy and Annabeth are my OTPs. They really are. I love them. OTP stands for One True Pairing, for those of you who don't know. But they really are. Especially Percy and Annabeth. And one that I don't like, and I'm gonna get a lot of crap for this too, and I don't care, is Hermione and Ron from the Harry Potter series. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't like them together as a couple. I do. I just don't see it realistically working. And J.K. Rowling even recently came out and said that Hermione shouldn't have wound up with Ron. She said that Hermione should have wound up with Harry. It's her book. She's got the final say, but in my opinion, no. But anyway, Hermione and Ron, I can see how it could work, but I can also see a million different ways that it could go wrong. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sniffly today. I see 100 different ways how it could go wrong. So they don't work well together. I'm going to keep doing it. They don't work well together. They don't mesh. They're such different people with such different goals, and it doesn't work. And maybe one of the reasons I don't like them as much is partly because of what I'm going to talk about next. And those are non-canon couples, meaning couples that don't exist in the books. And my favorite, and you really have to, people are going to call me crazy. If you don't know what it is, you're going to call me crazy. So be prepared to call me crazy. But Hermione Granger and Draco Malfoy, they are my favorite non-canon couple. And I know it sounds insane, but if you read fanfiction at all, you would understand they have this incredibly intense cult following. And there's some really, really talented fanfiction writers out there who have put together some very realistic scenarios where it could work. Some really not so realistic scenarios and some really terrible stories, but some really great. And I love that hate each other but love each other anyway on separate sides, or he changes his mind, and I love it. Some of you probably think I'm crazy, but I don't care. One non-canon couple pairing that I do not ship at all is John Watson and Sherlock Holmes from Sherlock. And You could be referring to the show that's currently on BBC that you all know I'm a huge fan of, or you could be referring to the book series or the movies with Robert Downey Jr. I'm saying his name wrong. Wow. I can't think of it. I think I said it right. I don't know. Oh my god. Anyway, I don't like that pairing. And I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I could see it happening, but I just don't see it happening. There are a lot of ways for people to love each other without it being romantic. And, you know, I'm sure that John does love Sherlock, and I know Sherlock loves John. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're in love with each other. They are brothers. They're brothers from different mothers. And, you know, they're best friends, and you don't have to be in love with someone just to... Love doesn't have to be sexual. It doesn't have to be romantic. It can just be love, and that's what's between them. So I don't ship John Locke, as it's called. I'm not a big fan. Anyway, we gotta speed this up because it's so long. I haven't filmed in a while, so I'm rambling. You guys know I ramble anyway, but especially after having not filmed for a couple weeks, I'm rambling. In terms of poetry, I actually have a couple of poems that are my favorite love poems, and they're both Shakespearean sonnets. And the first one is number 130, and it's "My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun" is the first line. I actually know the entire poem. I have it memorized. I could do it for you. "My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips red. If snow be white, why then her breasts are dun. If hair be wires, black wires grow on her head. I have seen roses damasked red and white, but no such roses see I in her cheeks. And in some perfume is there more delight than in the breath from which my mistress reeks." Which from my mistress reeks. Wow. "I love to hear her speak, yet well I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go. My mistress, when she walks, treads on the ground. And yet by heaven I think my love is rare, as any she lies will false compare." And I just love it. It's a beautiful poem, and it's saying that she's not, you know, she's not the ideal that people might imagine, but to him she's perfect because he loves her, and that love makes her the most beautiful woman in the room. My second favorite, and I actually have it here, is, I open my pages here, is number 141. And this was quoted a little bit in that movie 10 Things I Hate About You, which is like the quintessential 90s high school movie. If you haven't seen it, stop watching this video right now and go and watch it because it's an amazing movie. But anyway, it goes, "In faith I do not love thee with mine eyes, for they in thee 1,000 errors note. But 'tis my heart that loves what they despise, who, in spite of you, is pleased to dote. Nor mine ears with thy tongue's tune delighted, nor tender feeling to base touches prone, nor taste nor smell desire to be invited to any sensual feast with thee alone. But my 5 wits nor my 5 senses can dissuade one foolish heart from serving thee, who leaves unassuaged the likeness of a man, thy proud heart's slave and vassal wretch to be. Only my plague thus far I count my gain, that she that makes me sin awards me pain." And I don't know why I like it so much. It's not really a lovey-dovey happiness poem. It's, even though I hate you and everything about you, I'm in love with you. And I can't stop myself. And I think the reason I like it so much is because I'm into the Draco and Hermione thing also. Or maybe that's why I like Draco and Hermione, because I like this poem. I don't know. It's all twisted together. Anyway, my least favorite love poem of all time is "How Do I Love Thee" by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. And I hate it because it is so saccharine and annoying and just, ugh. It's just, I don't like it. Let's just leave it at that. Okay. Now in terms of movies and TV. Romantic movies. My favorite romantic movie of all time, honest to God, is Pride and Prejudice. The version with Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadden. McFadden? McFadden? I don't know. Anyway, I just love it. Now, it's not as canonly accurate as, you know, the BBC version, but it's still fantastic. It's so, they just have such great chemistry. It's such a beautiful movie. It's really, really well done. I highly, highly suggest it if you like romantic movies. It's very, very well done. And my least favorite, and I'm kind of cheating here because this is a repeat, but Twilight. I hate it. I hate it. And I think one of the reasons I hate it so much might also be because it was done a lot more canonly accurately than some of the other books that I love that have been turned into movies. Why couldn't they? Television couples. Let's talk about mainstream. And by mainstream, I just mean not any particular, like, geeky sort of genre. My favorite TV couples, I have two couples. The first is Ross and Rachel from Friends. I just love them. I just love them. And also in Meredith and Derek from Grey's Anatomy. I just love them. My least favorite is Christina and Burke from Grey's Anatomy. I never got that relationship. He did not accept her for who she was. He wanted her to be something she wasn't. And he tried to change her and then blamed her when she went, yeah. Let's not get into details. This video is already crazy long. Two more real quick categories. Television couples in the geeky sort of category. And how can I even... So many choices. I can't... There's Rory and Amy from... This is pretty much all going to be Doctor Who. There's Rory and Amy from Doctor Who. Oh my god, love them. There's 10 and Rose. Oh my god. And then there's 11 and River. How sassy. So sassy. So much good. And then I couldn't come up with a geeky sort of couple that I didn't like. I don't know. They're all so good. I love them all. I'm sure I'll think of one later when I'm not thinking about it. It'll pop into my head, but right now I can't think of it. And finally, my romantic comedies. My favorite is Crazy Stupid Love. It's just good. It's just a really good movie with really good people and really good storylines, and it's just really, really good. And my least favorite is that stupid movie Valentine's Day that came out a few years ago. Trying to be Love Actually and not making it work. Also a really good movie, Love Actually. You should check that out. But yeah. Anyway, those are my favorite romancy things. I'm sorry this video is like super, super long. Sorry also that I can't edit it and make it shorter, but oh well. That's life. Watch it in pieces if you want to. Things happen. Anyway, oh, yeah. Almost before I forget, the song of the week is also love themed because it's a love themed episode, and it's I Would Do Anything for You by Foster the People. It's a lovely love song. It's fun and it's happy and everyone's happy go lucky and yay. Anyway, sorry that was kind of a rambly, weirdish type of thing. Maybe I should have cut down my list. Oh well. It is what it is. So, until next time, enjoy your tea. I shall enjoy mine. So good. So, I love tea. Let's leave it at that. So, until next time, I'll see you later. Get your geek on and enjoy it. Bye.